Hope you all have a good day. In the last class, we saw the destruction of the fortress prison, the Bastille, which was observed as one of the first instances of revolution, which led to the execution of the King of France. In upcoming chapter, we will see what made people enraged, what made people mad enough to demolish a prison wall and sell them as memento in markets, and what are the chain or sequence of events that pushed people to this limit. To understand or study the sequence of event, let's first start with the living condition of people during that era. So, our topic of today's lesson is French society during the late 18th century. Late 18th century, particularly in the year 1774, Louis XVI of the Bourbon family of king ascended the throne of France. At that time, he was very young, only of 20-year-old, and was married to Austrian princess Mary Antoinette. After his succession, he found his treasury to be empty as long year of war had drained the financial resources of France. In addition to his empty treasury, he has to maintain extravagant court at the immense palace of Versailles. Under Louis XVI, France also helped the 13 American colonies to gain independence from the common enemy Britain. This war lasted 7 years and added a billion livres of debt to existing debt. So now France has 2 billion livres of total debt. Livres is nothing but the unit of currency used in France. In the midst of this situation, the lenders who gave credits to the state started increasing the interest, which elevated up to 10%. So, the French government had to pay a huge amount of its budget solely on interest payment. In addition to huge interest payments, they had regular expenses such as cost of maintaining the army, the court, running government offices or universities, etc. So, essentially, at the end of late 18th century, France was going through an economic crisis, and the government has no other way than to increase its taxes to contain the financial crisis. Let's first see how the French society was divided in the late 18th century. The French society was divided into three estates. First estate consists of clergy or the people related to special function in church. The second estate belonged to nobility, which consists of people associated with the monarchy. These two estates, clergy and nobility, are made 10% of population and enjoyed many feudal privileges, including exemption from paying taxes. About 60% of land was owned by nobles, and the remaining are owned by church and other third estate people. The third estate consists of 90% of population with the range of people from big businessmen, merchants, officials, lawyers, peasants to small peasants, landless laborers and servants, etc. These people from third estate are responsible for paying all the taxes of the state. These include direct tax called taille, a tax levied by church called tithe, where people have to pay 1/10 of their agriculture produce. Other than that, there are numerous indirect taxes on everyday items such as salt, tobacco, etc. So, on the whole, the financial burden of the state or taxes was placed on third estate people, while first and second estate enjoyed their privileges. This was the state of French society during late 18th century. Okay students, that's all for today's topic.